And that's pretty powerful, just 30 consecutive days. And if you don't wake up and do your whatever it is that you need to do to move you towards your goal, again, I know we've said this before, you just have to keep asking yourself, when am I going to know that I've really suffered enough? And if the answer is right now, then just move forward with whatever it is you need to do to accomplish and reach your goals. And the subconscious mind is just going to it's the acting out part of the mind, so it's just going to keep acting out that old programming. And to prove this to yourself, just think about how many times we've thought, I can't stop smoking, I'll never lose weight, there's never enough. Those are all those DVDs that Darryl Cross was talking about, Dr. Darryl Cross was talking about, is all those programmings. I can, I'll never, I won't, there's not enough. So, yeah, like he was saying, just re-script that programming and come up with some new idea, some new way of thinking. You're always going to be moving towards your most dominant thought. From birth to death, you are always moving towards your most dominant thought. So change that thought. And any thought you think a lot becomes a belief. So change the belief.
That's right. And Dr. Cross was really talking about what we call guided imagery, or just imagining yourself, visualizing yourself being confident, visualizing yourself in that new thin body, visualizing yourself openly communicating whatever it is you need to say. And that can be the whole rescripting, just that intense guided imagery. There's a lot of different ways to go after those limiting beliefs and change the thought. That's one of them. And it works really, really well when you step into the positive feeling of what it feels like when you are that new, confident, calm, expressive person, whatever it is that you want to be. And Dr. Cross talked about the subconscious mind, or the area below the water, doesn't know the difference between fact or fantasy, doesn't know the difference between reality and what's vividly imagined. That's the job of our conscious mind, to say that's real and that was a dream and that was a daydream and that's a movie. But our subconscious mind has no idea. So when you step into that really good feeling of this is what it feels like to be calm and confident, subconscious mind doesn't know that that's a future projection that hasn't really happened yet. It begins to run the body in a way that you are already that way. It begins to run the thoughts, just as if when you're watching a movie and something exciting happens and you jump, you have an emotional reaction to the movie. It's because your subconscious mind didn't know that you weren't part of the movie.
Right.
It didn't realize that it was fantasy. So step into that good feeling and really have it, known it, and see yourself, hear yourself, feel yourself in that new way.
And in order to do that, I think this is really important. So often we ask for things that we want, and we're so nebulous about what that is. And we immediately start thinking about everything that's in the way of us getting it. Ask yourself, what do I want? Who do I want to be? And get so clear about it. Have such clarity, Clarity creates the passion. That creates that really good feeling, and the feeling is always going to be your point of attraction. So figure it out. Really write it down. My goal for myself when I create a new, something that I want, whether it's a thing or whether it's just some joy or love or compassion or forgiveness, whatever it is, I write a minimum of 5 to 10 pages of what it is. I get so clear about it.
Really? 5 to 10 pages? I didn't know that you did that.
Yeah, I'll write. I start on just what is it? What do I want? And then I just go off on writing what it is that I want and why that's important to me and all the reasons why I think I can have it. And I take up I won't stop until I have 5 pages. And if it takes me, I can't always do that, in one sitting. Usually I'll go back out into the universe, and as I start setting my intention and getting more clear about what I want, I see evidence all over the universe, all over my experience. So I walk around, and I call it collecting data. And I just walk around collecting data. Oh yeah, I really like that, and I really like that, and that'll work, and that'll get me towards that. And I just start thinking about all my thoughts and what I'm thinking about. And if it's a thought that's moving me towards joy and moving me towards my goal, I go for it. And if it's a thought that's moving me away from that, I think of something else I could think of that gets me into that place. But it really is a commitment. It's a commitment to do the work and do whatever it is that's going to move you towards what you're wanting to experience. Does that make sense?
Did
I make any sense?
Oh, you made perfect sense
cool.
to me. And we have a clip, actually, by Jim Katsoulis, who uses what the ideas we're talking about with the visualization and stepping into the good feeling, talks about how you can actually do that. And he doesn't specifically mention it, but what he's really doing is using some neurolinguistic programming techniques of combining something we would call the standard swish pattern, or also some types of mapping across to really, like, the way that we visualize, the way that we make up things in our mind is how we feel about them, and how I'm going to say how strong we feel about them, or passionate, or how much hold they have on us. And he talks about some ways of moving some things around so that you can really get into that good feeling of the new dream body, or of the clean fish tank, and how you feel about yourself when your fishies can breathe. So should we go to that clip,
Yeah,
Mitch?
perfect. And just really pay attention, because it's important. One of the important things that Brandy just mentioned is, and again, we've talked about this before, think about it with such clarity that you get that good feeling. The feeling is what's going to get you there. So yeah, let's run the clip.
All right.